mute in the background.
Okay. I hope everybody can see my screen.
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, so hi everybody, my name is Tolu and I'll be talking about a 3D character pipeline. It's going to be my own workflow of how I create my 3D characters. So in case you don't know me, my name is Tolu Coker and I'm a 3D character artist. I'm also a visual designer, so I create animation as well. I'm based in Lagos. I have worked for a couple of game studios and brands. So these are a few of my works. These are a few of my characters. So to today's event, which is about the workflow, usually I start by gathering references, which is character design and concept. Then I move to sculpting, and then I move to topology and UV unwrapping. Then I move to texturing, asset and hair creation, then rigging, then lightning and rendering. So I will try to show some of my works on how I do it on Blender. But I can't do much right now because I don't think my laptop can handle using Chrome and then using Blender as well when it comes to like character testing, because it can be quite heavy. I hope everybody can hear me too.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
I didn't want to laugh.
Why didn't you want to laugh? Because of the laptop thing.
I do Chrome. I was like, oh wow. US it's
So for the first one, which is basically character design and concept, it's gathering references. It's the very first stage. This is what guides you on what you have to create. And I think it's best for you to put a timeline to it because it's easy to get carried away and keep adding references and keep adding references. You know, that idea stage where you just keep adding things without actually doing the work. So I think it's best for you to put a time frame to gather references. And then since as beginners, we need to learn how anatomy works as well. That's why it has to always be in your references, how the body looks like. As you can see, this is one of the ones I created. I made this with PureRef. It makes my work easier. So I use PureRef to gather all these references. Like I import from Pinterest to PureRef. PureRef is a software I use to just keep all my references. So this is an example of a reference that I created for this particular character. As you can see, this dress that is right here. Can you see my cursor as well?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So this dress, I replicated it on this particular character. And then the eyelashes, I was trying to figure out how they work, the geometry and everything. So you can see it in this particular reference. And then I was trying to go for a particular facial structure. Well, not totally this one, but I tried achieving it in this character, so you can see it here as well. So basically, just character design, how you want the end goal to look like. Make sure you already have the picture down in mind, so you don't keep going astray as you're working on it. Because there are so many things to create, and then if you don't have an end goal in mind, you're going to lose your mind while working on this thing. So always have an end goal in everything, not just character design. When you're working in art, always have an end goal. So I think we come on to the next one, which is so this was my previous works without references. I'm sure, there were nothing to look or talk about. The anatomy was off. So always work with references too. So don't overgather. Okay, there's nothing like overgathering, but make sure you just have a reference and have a time frame to it, basically. And sculpting, this is basically molding digitally. It's like molding with clay, but using your cursor or tablet. So it is where the character begins to take form and what you have in mind begins to take place. So we usually start with the blockouts, which is the very first image I have. You start with the outline. Like I said, you start with the very first outline, and then you move to the secondary outline, which is the one without the details, before you begin adding details. So you don't overwhelm yourself, because if you try to go to the details from the get-go, you're going to either damage your PC or run mad. I'm sorry. This is another example I have. You start with your blockouts before you go to the secondary outline, and then you add details. And retopology, retopology is basically rebuilding your previous sculpt. So you'll be able to use it for animations or to enable faster renders, or also so you can have better textures, because without your retopology, you will not have a good UV wrap. So retopology is needed for a lot of things. If you're going to put it into work, if you're going to put your model into work, you need to retopologize your model. Retopology also allows better deformation during animation. It allows your model to be able to bend. I wish I could show you this, but I can't open the files. Let me see if I can open one. Hold on, please. So I want to show you a retopology I have. Okay, so can you see my screen? Okay, so right now I have a model that is retopologized. Sorry, I keep using the word retopologize. It's not an actual word, but I have a model with topology here. So as you can see, I think this can be used for an animation. It's not rigged yet, so we can't test it out. But this is what a model with topology would look like. This is it in the edit mode. It has a dense mesh. And let me show you another one that I created previously. Yes. Hopefully it works. Okay, yes. So yes, this can be used for animation as well. So yeah, basically, topology is needed if you are going to be using your model in animations or games. So back to my presentation. So these are the flows that are needed in a model. There are all these places that are highlighted are what is needed. All these parts are what is needed for a good deformation when you're bending your model. If you don't have this, when you're trying to bend your model, they're going to look very, very weird. Again, let me show you an example of that. Let me see. Okay. Something like this. I don't think I have an example of a deformed model. And I'm scared to open things once again because I don't want my laptop to crash. Okay, so you keep laughing at me, Mr. Uche. So yeah, all these points highlighted, they are all needed for our models. If you don't have these loops in your models are going to deform. UV unwrapping, that's the third stage. It's also with topology, in my opinion. I think they are both connected. So UV unwrapping is the process of flattening the 3D model into a 2D layout for texturing. It's basically turning your 3D into a flat surface, like this cube. You are turning your 3D into a flat surface so you can draw on it. If you have a good UV, everything, your texture looks really good. There's a lot of rules to this, but I don't want to go into details because we could stay here forever. There are a lot of rules to give you unwrapping, especially for games, because you have to also optimize it as well when it comes to games. So games is majorly about optimizing a lot of things. You have to reduce vertices for optimizing is reducing vertices for how do I put it? It's basically removing vertices because most times after sculpting, your models are usually of high poly. They have a lot of vertices. So you're basically just reducing those vertices. That's why you're rebuilding. And texturing. Texturing is where the magic comes to life. This is where you had your skin tone, your fabric, your patterns, everything, colors to make your model stand out. Without your texture, everything looks like a gray blob or a gray model like this. Let's see. Okay, it's rendering. That was going to hang. Okay, so this was okay. Yeah, so like this one. Let's see. So usually I texture in Substance Painter. That's my own workflow from Blender to Substance Painter. Then I take it back to Blender. So let me see if I can explain this quickly as possible. In texturing, we need to hold on, please. Yeah, so in texturing a character, the most important things are you need to show all those skin imperfections, all those bumps. So your normal, which is the height, which is basically what would be showing the pores. I hope I'm not being technical here. So your normals are like the bumps, all those things that show the depth of something in your model. That is what is called a normal. You need to show all of that for it to look good. And then the colors. Okay, I'm sorry, I think it's hanging. It's hanging. Okay. But basically, this is how your model would look like if you are not texturing it properly. Without the bumps or appropriate color, it's going to look like the left. And this is how it looked like when we finally started doing the appropriate things. I think I even have one that I still tried. Anyways, and then creating assets so your character can have a personality is also very important. Your hair is the hair of your character is part of whatever style you're going for. So there's the stylized hair, there's using haircuts, and then there's using curves. There's also using particle hair system. Whichever one works with the style you're going for is what you can use. And then asset creation, so that's making use of like creating bags or earrings, jewelry, accessories, like a gun or something. So it complements your character as well. And then the sixth stage is rigging. Rigging is the process of adding a skeleton to your 3D model so it can move, basically, like this one that I was trying to show you. But yeah, this is rigging. This is an already rigged model. When your model is already rigged, you can pose the model in any way you want the model to be. Basically, yeah. And then lighting and rendering. These are the final steps to bring your character to life. This is what your character would look like if there is no proper rendering. Sorry, no proper lighting. And which is why you should learn like the basics of lighting, like the three-way rendering, which involves the key light and the rim light and the lights. And these are the common mistakes people make by not trying out things. I noticed that people just maybe they just take the front view and then the front render of their works, and that's all. They don't try maybe checking out the camera, the focal point of your camera, maybe changing it to see how it works. The one on the right is the one that has, I prefer the one on the left because this is I made a research and I realized this is what people use for character renderings for front view, which is the orthographic projection. If it's just a normal render, I just go for orthographic projection. It makes everything looks good. Except that's not the look you're going for. Because the one on the right, it made her look like she had a bigger jaw and like it just made her mouth look bigger and it was not giving the style I wanted. So yeah, small changes make a big difference. Always do your research. Don't just leave your work as it is. try to make it presentable. Yeah, so like I was saying, poor presentation and underestimating lighting. And then there's no one way to light your work. There are so many ways. Lighting too is something that you should consider when doing your reference, when gathering references. Know how you want your work to look like. All of this would be solved in the reference stage when you know what your end goal is. That way you don't ignore your anatomy because you already see that it does not match what you already have. So does anybody have any question?
All right. I know that was a really fast one. But like she explained earlier, can you guys hear me? Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Yes, we
So, but
can.
like I explained, she said the system like well, we didn't have it like I think what was the thing you said earlier? Was it like your system wasn't able to do the work right now,
Yeah, I
right?
can't do both Chrome and Blender at the same
Yeah,
time. Like
yeah.
it's
So yeah, so that's why
so
it's explained. But I
sorry.
think do you have any tutorial like do you have tutorials on like on your page or something?
Not right now.
Tolu, stop hanging on. You start making tutorials. You can't be doing all this to only you. Having tutorials.
I'm
So
planning to release some next month, but right now they are
okay,
not out yet.
okay, that's cool. At least the community knows you now. They know your handles. They can follow, and they have questions right now. Honestly, I'm just trying to just thank you first of all before questions jump in. And I will ask my own question. Actually, I will start opening the floor with my own question because I've always looked at your work and I've always wondered like how did you get into 3D character design and what's why did you choose this and what happened, how did you get into 3D character design? We all have our origin stories. I just want to know your own.
My origin stories. Well, I guess I've always loved cartoons and I took an interest after lockdown. I started with graphics design, but it was not something I wanted. I was not like, wow, that's right, I even love cartoons. Let me see how they are created. So I decided to just look up what it was about. And lucky for me, I had a friend that was into it. So I just asked him what it was all about, and then he was trying to explain to me. And then I went on YouTube too, and I found the donuts guy. Yes, it was the donut guy. And then with my potato PC, I started learning what I could. I found it very fun, although I had to stop because of school. Then I started again. That was 2022 during the long strike, but I had to stop again. Then I officially started again last year, and then I've been doing that ever since. And it's been really great.
Awesome. Thank you. So any questions, please. The floor is open. You can ask her any question you want. She says she's working on tutorials, but please ask any questions you have about the process so she can break it down for
Yes,
you.
I'm so sorry I couldn't show how to make my works like on Blender. I'm so sorry, guys. You guys don't have any questions? Yeah.
Sorry, I think maybe whenever you drop the tutorial, the questions will probably sprouts from there. Most definitely.
Okay.
All right. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you people hear me now?
I can hear you.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I've been talking in the internet silo since
Sorry.
network was bad. So no one had questions. I know I saw Shalom blink like something.
Okay, so here's my question. I was wondering, do you actually use a drawing tablet for your sculpting or your mouse?
I use a drawing tablet.
Okay.
Although
Okay.
I started with my mouse. Sorry, my trackpad. If like I said, I started with the potato pieces. So I started with my trackpad. So you can use anything. Don't let that be that. Don't let that derail you.
Then you spoke about as like I'm trying to avoid using particles because my PC is a bit on the lower end. You spoke about cards or something about for the
Yes, hair
air and stuff.
cards.
Sorry?
Can use hair cards. Hair cards.
Yeah, air
So it's
cards. What are
basically
those?
an image. It's an
Okay.
image of air. You can get that online. It's an air image texture that looks like real hair. So it's how you position it that will make it look like an actual hair.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. If you can hear me, if we don't have any other questions, I think this will be like our really quick class. Is that okay? I'm going to try and so the recording of the class will be of this video will be shared in the group for us to go by it if you have any, if you want to view it. And I'll follow up Tolu once she releases her tutorials. I will share with the group so we can see her process in more in depth. And you can always reach out to her and ask questions on our social media handles if that's okay too.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll be happy
Okay.
to answer any question you have.
Awesome. So I think I'll be ending this class, this meetup now. This actually, I would have said let's continue. I would have continued on, but the net is really bad, and I think it would just be unfair for me to continue like this until the network is fixed. So thank you all for today. I'll share the recording of this meetup, and I will follow up with Tolu. Whenever she gets a new tutorials out, I'll share with the group and you can follow up on her and also follow up on her social media in case you jump anything and you can see before me. So thank you all and have a wonderful
Thank you guys
week.
for having me.
Thank you, Tolu. Thank you so much for giving us your time. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So see you all later.
Thank you, sir.